Gotta get your big head out of there. All right, so I'm sending over a quick little update on Mr. Josiah. Training-wise, he's doing great. Like, he's really picking up on everything. Ooh, can't talk. He's doing well out in our yards. He's learning how to socialize with other dogs. I'm making it a point to put him with dogs that are going to match his energy level and complement the areas where he needs to learn things. So give like balanced dog corrections, give him space when he wants space and things of that nature. Now that he's really starting to open up to me, I'm seeing a lot of probably what you've been seeing, the really just bratty adolescent behaviors that have gone unchecked. So I'm going to, where we are now, I'm going to start laying down boundaries and create expectations. And I want to create behaviors or an expectation within behavior where he knows what I'm looking for, and I'm going to make it a point to enforce those things. And that's what we're going to go over when we get together and how you can kind of translate or transfer that at home, which I think he really needs to experience. His reactivity stuff is stemmed from fear, a little bit of anxiety, which is pretty common with the Shepherd breed. They're a very defensive breed. It's typically going to be displayed in like fight or flight mode. So flight, if they can move away, that's what they're going to do. And if they don't really have that option, then we jump into fight, which is very self-rewarding. Aggression is it's very empowering for dogs. They learn that one little behavior creates the space that they want, and it works. So that's going to become a go-to, which is a lot of where we're seeing the resource guarding, where he's hungry and he wants food, and there's a big puppy coming into his space. He's like, no, this is mine. So maybe he learned, oh, if I just do that, it makes the puppy leave, or we remove the puppy because we don't want him to get bit. And he's like, this works, I'm gonna keep doing it. So first thing, I really think that he needs to be vetted for parasites or something like that. He's been having some pretty bad diarrhea over the weekend, and just because of his weight in general, I don't think that would be of any harm to just rule something like that out. We can only go up from there as far as getting him back into a good shape, making sure that he's nice and healthy. That's something that I'm happy to do here. We have the same vet, so we're friendly with Lock Taylor. So if you want me to run him up to the vet just to get that panel done, I think that would be a great option. You don't have to, that's up to you. I went out this morning and I bought him some raw goat's milk, which is it's basically creates a healthy gut. I do it for my dogs whenever they're not feeling well, and it just kind of resets everything going on in there, so it can help out with that diarrhea. If it's just like stress related, or if he has an upset tummy or whatever. And for treats, I switched over to, normally I use hot dogs, which if he's got an upset belly, I don't want to give him processed hot dogs. So I switched him over to like freeze-dried raw patties. I just chop those up, soak them in some water so that they become dehydrated, so that he can get some healthy intake when he's working for his food. So back to training-wise, again, like I think that probably a lot of that resource guarding is stemming from him just being hungry and wanting food. So the first week is always spent on establishing a marker system. So a marker is going to be a word that marks a moment in time that I like, something that he does. And for him, that's going to announce the arrival of a reward or food. I want to create that association where this word equals presentation of food. So he has a reflexive response to it every time he hears it. He assumes that there's going to be food following it. And that way, whatever he's doing when he hears that marker takes on the good feeling of receiving food. So he's more likely to do that again in the future. There's a man staring at it as, yes, good job. So he's got a reflexive response. He knows that yes equals food. Josiah, yes, very nice, good boy. It's important that the word is what is producing the food and not any movement. So I'm making it a point to, yes, to not show any movement or reaching towards food until after that word has been given. So I don't want it to be, got it? Yes, like that. I want it to be yes, and then I reach towards food. I hope that makes sense. I do it that way just so that he is responding to the word and not my movements, and that way when we're in an environment where he's not looking at me, and I want to use that marker. If he's missing my movements, then that could be a missed opportunity to reward the behavior that I want. So yes is going to be, I like what you did, you can come take food from me. He doesn't have to do anything past hearing that word other than just come take food from me. And then we have good, which is implying duration, which is where we are right now, is creating duration within behavior. So because he's young and because, what are you doing? He's kind of a rude, pushy, puppy-ish kind of thing. Duration and impulse control is really hard for him. So I think that's something we really need to spend a lot of time on, is getting him thinking things through and responding to us, and not so much everything going on in the environment. And we could really capitalize on that with building confidence and a relationship when there's a lot of things going on, when there's distractions and competing motivators and things of that nature. So normally I have the cats in here. They went to the vet because one of them was not feeling well. So we are catless, but that's something that I've been really working on with him, because he is pretty sneaky with his prey drive towards him. Most of the time he doesn't care until one of them gets a little like frisky around him, and he'll just kind of dive bomb them. He hasn't done anything mean to them. It's very superficial, but I think that's a good moment or something for us to work on, where things are going on around him and he needs to just hang out and be calm and not be so impulsive and react to all of those things. So I'm definitely going to utilize that. They'll be back up here tomorrow, so we can go back to using them. But yeah, so lots of impulse control, lots of duration and behavior. A segue away from the markers. Good is implying I want him to keep doing the behavior that he's in, and I can pay him in behavior to build the duration in which he's in that behavior. And then okay is going to be the terminal marker, meaning that the behavior is over. Josiah, sit. Good. The butt hits the ground, I can pay him. And I want him to keep being in behavior. Good. I can continue to pay him in behavior. These are really hard to break out. I'm adding in movement, neutralizing that, and I can start adding rules. So if I do too much and he moves out of behavior, nope. Sit. Good. I can guide him back into behavior. And then, okay, is that terminal marker. Get that off me. Take that. I really want to make sure he understands leash pressure, what it's asking, how to remove it, and so forth, so that I can use it to build reliability within behavior. If I don't teach him how to make it go away, then it just becomes something that he resists, and then we start fighting. So for him, or for any dog, I want to ask the behavior, sit. Good. I'm applying a little bit of tension in that leash, guiding him into behavior. As soon as he does the behavior, the leash tension goes slack, and then I can mark, good, and pay him in that behavior. Okay. Very nice. That way, when we are in an environment where he is conflicted and he doesn't necessarily want to listen to me, he's not motivated by me, whatever the reason, I can enforce the wanted behavior through leash pressure. I can have that follow through so that he knows that even though he's not motivated by me in that moment, he still has to do the behavior. So I can build reliability and really start creating those boundaries, right? Like he needs that, especially as a young adolescent shepherd dog. I have, look, I don't know if they're in the frame, I'm blind. My shepherds over here, they are used to all of that. Like they need boundaries. It creates confidence. They have expectation with what you're looking for, and it creates clarity in the relationship, what he's allowed to do in certain situations. So it can seem like, oh, I'm creating all these rules, I'm overbearing, but it really is to create clarity and to build a relationship where we're working together and he's not working against me so much just to do whatever he wants to do, which is typically not what we want, right? Like his idea of a good time is stressful for us. Josiah, place. Good. I know. Very nice. Good. Josiah, come. Sit. Good. Okay. And take him away. Yeah, so we're working on all the good stuff here. We're mostly doing stuff in the training right now, just while I'm building a relationship with him. He is very easily distracted, a more defensive dog because of genetics. Again, I'm going to reiterate that I do think that maybe he should see a vet just to rule some gut stuff out, some parasizing thing like that, just to make sure he's a nice, healthy boy. He seems happy. He's having the diarrhea. He had diarrhea over the weekend pretty consistently. It could be stress related. Oh my gosh, you're so good. Could be stress related. I don't know. It would make me feel better if we went ahead and did that. And that could open up the window to getting him up to a good, healthy man weight. Right, buddy? He's very hungry. Like, he's definitely food motivated. He's interested in eating food. But I will send over some suggestions as far as higher calorie food. My Malinois, she's super picky, kind of a finicky eater. She's my working dog, and she's super athletic and is just burning through normal, regular, like pet dog kibble. I was having to feed her, similar to him, like I was having to feed her like 6 cups a day, and she was still lean. And I switched her to a higher calorie food, and I went from the like 4, 5, 6 cups a day down to just a normal 2 cups, and she gained weight. So I will send that over. The brand is Sport Dog Food. She's picky, so she wasn't the hugest fan of it as far as taste. It has a much healthier food drive, so I don't think that will be problematic. It's something that I would gradually switch, just so we're not like upsetting his gut, basically. All right. If you have any questions, you can give me a call or send me an email, whatever, and just let me know what you would like to do about that stuff. Again, we also use Lock Taylor, so we could get them in there pretty quickly. Valerie, the owner of the kennel, is pretty much best friends with Dr. Lynch over there, so they're on a friend basis. So okay, I don't know how to end the video.